So, what's the greatest lesson you've learned about managing finances as a couple?
Greatest lesson I've learned about managing our finances as a couple. If I think about that for a second, I would say just checking my approach to presenting you with financial goals or financial ideas. And what I mean by that is usually I take one or two approaches. Either I'm bringing you like a ready-made plan already, or I'm approaching you as a kind of a collaborator, if you will, or a collaborator. And what I mean by that is I'm either approaching you like you're a sidekick or approaching you like you're another hero. And just to go into a little bit more detail, say I'm Batman, it's like you're Robin or you're Batgirl, and I say, okay, well, here's our plan in reference to how we're going to take out Penguin or the Joker today. I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to beat up his henchmen. I need you to pull the Batmobile, around the back just in case Joker knocks me off the roof so I can fall into the Batmobile, take me to Alfred so I can help. Like that's your role.
Okay. Yes.
The other
Right.
side is, treat you like, and not to get too deep in the comics, treat you like Wonder Woman, where, you have your own superpowers that you bring to the table. You have, your own, I guess, villains that you need to fight, if you will. And, it's like, okay, how can we come together to, create this plan to battle truth and justice, like versus me kind of dictating to you, what the part is that you play kind of in the financial goals. Like just checking those approaches
Mhm.
really made, I would say, the biggest difference. And and yeah, it definitely was one of the biggest lessons for me.
I can really attest that that's really true. I,
Yeah.
I recognize those two
Yeah.
approaches out in our past, but sometimes in our present. And here's the thing: I know that you acknowledge, and I think everyone for the most part does, that co-creation is the way to go.
Yeah.
Co-creating a plan and strategy as a couple gets everyone on board,
Correct.
get buy-in. You know what I mean?
Correct.
It's a better approach, and I know you know that, but there's something in you
Sure.
still defaults, you know what I mean, to taking it all on your own and making me a sidekick.
Yeah.
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 What is that? What
Well,
is driving that, you think?
there's a few things. Early on in our marriage, I thought it was kind of a manhood thing. Like,
Mm.
let me come up with this plan and let me, tell you the X and Z and those are the plan, the right turn, the left turn, and how to mitigate risks. Like I thought, that was the type of initiative that I needed to take. When really, the initiative was, to initiate better communication, maybe to initiate the vision or initiate the idea, but I didn't have to come up with everything. But then the second piece is usually I would say I hate to use this word, but I'm pregnant with financial ideas where I'm thinking about them for months upon
Right.
months. Yeah, yeah, months. It's not yours. Yeah, months upon months at a time. So by the time it gets to you, I've been swirling on this thing, for a while.
Yeah.
Just playing chess with the overall idea. So you're hopping on a train, you're hopping on a moving train of an idea, and it's like, okay, well, here's the car, here's the seat you need to be in. This train left the station yesterday. I hope you're good with it because I really believe in it. I really believe this is what we need
Yeah.
to do. So you're running up into that opposition. So I guess one of the questions you may need to ask me, well, you know, this is a great idea. How long you been thinking about this? Just before you kind of chime in, just to kind of get that context from me.
Right. And I think also too, it also he's married to making sure there's time, just literally time throughout the week, throughout the day,
Yeah.
that for those in real time sort of conversations, like, hey, let me just throw this idea. It's half baked, but just throw this idea. Is what I've been thinking about, and making space for you to have that time to bring me on board, so I can, like I said, be a part of a process,
Yeah.
more than trying to catch the 300-mile-per-hour train that
Absolutely.
Britney's feet.
Absolutely. And I will attest, having you a part of the process is tremendously better.
Thank you.
Um, it it's sometimes difficult. It has been difficult,
Yeah.
but results have shown it's definitely better.
And
It's a better process.
I've always thought it has something to do with speed. Anytime you're
Sure,
co-creating,
sure,
it's gonna be a slower
sure.
process. There's no
Yeah,
way around it.
yeah,
And I know if you're someone like like Bray here, who, wants things done yesterday, last week,
Of
there's
course.
this, you have this sense of urgency with anything that you're passionate about, which is great.
Yeah.
But that also means it's more frustrating for you when things have to slow down. And I just, that's something I've noticed that I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I think sometimes the slowdown makes it frustrating. But at the same time, just like you just said, remembering that you get a better product. So it's worth it. It's worth it sometimes to slow down so that your partner can be on board with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, two is always better than one. And, you have a unique value that you bring to each and every conversation. And, I have my own unique values, and together, it's a force multiplier. Better together at the end of the day. And, there's a Chinese proverb that says, blessed is the couple who not only sleeps in the same bed, but dreams the same dream. Because if we have two different approaches to the same goal, it's usually not going to work out. So it's better just to slow down so we can get kind of on the same page. So yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest, one of the, biggest lessons that I've taken away from, our overall financial planning. So I will say, if you've been listening to this conversation and you found it valuable, please follow us at Naked and Rich, and also feel free to share this with someone else and keep the conversation going. Let us know your thoughts about, lessons you learned in reference to financial planning with your partner.